Hey Internet, Eric here. This is going to be an interesting one today. Welcome to Jurassic July. All through the month of July, unless I have a live stream planned, I'm going to discuss films that pertain to dinosaurs, whether dinosaurs or the monsters, whether there's just a dinosaur in it, or anything or everything that deals with dinosaurs is fair game for Jurassic July. And this is a request a long time in the making from Mr. Dinosaur himself, Marty, over at the Trash Picture Show. Um, this is the first time I believe I've ever discussed a TV series on this channel. And what I planned on doing, it's going to be tough. There are 13 episodes of this show, and I am not going to binge watch 13 episodes and then try to remember every fucking thing that happened. So, what I'm going to try to do is maybe make a video after every two episodes, splice it all together, and then we'll see what we get at the end. So be ready for continuity being screwed up with what I'm wearing. Anyways, today from 1993, I am discussing the Saturday morning cartoon of Cadillacs and Dinosaurs. Now, if you're new to my channel, welcome. I discuss plot spoilers, specific scenes, what have you. Like I said, this came out in 1993. I had never heard of this cartoon before. I guess it was Saturday morning. Based off of a comic book that eventually became a video game, like an arcade game. Basic plot, what I've been able to get so far, I've only watched, as of this recording, I've only watched two episodes. We are following two different groups. One is led by the lead character named Jack. I think he's called a mechanic. Like, everybody has certain titles here. And he is just trying to live life and help dinosaurs because it's the future. I don't remember how dinosaurs are able to live with man. It's like the end of the world, like a Mad Max type thing. It feels like so far. You have Jack and his group, which he's seconded by Hannah, who I believe is a scientist. He's got a sidekick mechanic. Can't think of his name off the top of my head. He's got a pet, he's got a pet dinosaur that he's raised from birth because its mother was killed by poachers. It looks like a T-Rex, but it's got spines on the sides of its head. So it's Jack trying to keep the world running, keep society running, and keeping dinosaurs, which are called dinosaurs, cutters, and slithers, I think, trying to keep them safe from poachers. And the basic, other than that, you have, I guess you would say, society over there, in the land of Oz, being run by a group of people called governors. And the lead governor, I can't think of her name off the top of my head, but she looks like a man. She looks like a man. She's the one heading up everything, trying to stop Jack from keeping the dinosaurs safe. And she's also working with a head poacher. I can't think of his name off the top of my head. But he's just, the stereotypical biker with the buzz cut and the mullet type of thing. So it's those two camps feuding with each other. So far, I'm really, really enjoying it. The animation is really good. You can tell the animation was based off of a comic book, the way it looks. And you can tell it just like pulls off the page for me. It also, even though it's a Saturday morning cartoon, and when you think Saturday morning cartoons, you think cheap, it kind of looks like it maybe have been influenced by the cartoon movie Heavy Metal. Characters so far, Jack is the leader. I really like him. He is this gung ho type of character, very loyal. There's definitely some mystery around him right now because he's taken an oath of, I don't know if it's not an oath of servitude, but an oath of maybe protection to protect the dinosaurs. And he does what he can, but there's also some weird little frog man creature that has popped up a couple times when he is trying to do his plan, I guess you would say, do what he needs to do to stop the poachers. And there is this weird frog dude who is in his vision, telling him basically, "You took an oath, blah blah blah. Do what you need to do." But I really like this Jack character. He reminds me. I don't know. It's not the same voice. I checked, but he reminds me a little bit of Duke from GI Joe. He's definitely the action star. He is not afraid to get down and dirty, risk his life. There's a great scene in episode 2 where there is a stampede that is being caused. And the poachers and the Mr. Mrs. Governor, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but she looks like the stereotypical butch woman. It's 1993. She's working with the head poacher, and they're using dynamite to scare a herd of triceratops to go through the town. There's a great scene where Jack he's driving his Cadillac, and he jumps from his Cadillac onto the top of the lead triceratops, and he uses his weight to pull on the horns of the one that's in the lead to turn the herd, because the herd's going to follow the leader, away from the town. So I really like this guy, Jack. The follow-up character, I think her name is Hannah. I guarantee she's going to be a love interest. She hasn't done anything special yet. She's just there to look sexy in a midriff. His second in command, can't think of his name. Sorry, Marty. I'm bad with names, Marty. He is just there to show support. The pet dinosaur actually is pretty cool so far. It's done what it's need to do to help in battle. It stopped a couple bad guys, when bad guys need to be stopped. These two main villains, I guess you would say, the male-female type of... I don't want to say that she's... How do I say this without being disrespectful? She's a female, obviously, but she is built like a fucking brick shit house. She's got long white hair. She's drawn facially like a man. So that's how it is. So I'm just going to call her the female governor. I can't think of her name off the top of my head. She, so far, is definitely throwing her weight around, showing that she is going to be a villain that is not to be messed with. And even worse is the head poacher. Like I said, he's typical muscle man, mullet, short on the top, party in the back. He is not afraid to take people down. And I did a little bit of research. He's also not afraid to betray the main governor, I guess you'd say, if she crosses him in the wrong way. The first episode was kind of establishing who these characters were, and there was a great scene where there was this T-Rex type of cutter or slither or dinosaur. I'm going to call them dinosaurs, okay? That was out in the wild attacking people, and it was being controlled by this little computer that was hooked into the back of, its spinal column, where the brain met the spinal column. Jack saved the day, a great action scene, and then he realizes that off in the land of Oz, in their Emerald Tower, the governors are plotting some stuff. 20-minute episodes, 13 episodes total. I could probably finish this in 3 days. It's really gotten me interested in seeing to where this is going. There are some characters that are just kind of there and kind of dumb. There is one guy, I don't know what it is. He's wearing boxing gloves, and he's called a cow boxer. I must have missed what the fuck he's doing. He's there for the comic relief, to be the stereotypical cowboy. Like, when they're camping at night, he's cooking fucking cactus. Stupid. But this is also kind of violent. There are explosions. The bad guys are pulling knives out on the good guys. When Jack pulls that device out of the back of the brainstem of the T-Rex looking dinosaur, blood comes out. And this is Saturday morning in 1993. So I'm very interested to see how violent it can get. So far, 2 episodes down, I'm really digging it. Really like the Jack character. I'm gonna try my best to learn names as I go along. The love interest, or possible love interest, she's just there. This governor woman, you can tell she's a heavy. This head poacher is gonna really be a thorn in Jack's side. I'm waiting to see what they're gonna do with this pet dinosaur, and see where the conflict goes. So as of right now, 2 episodes in, really enjoy Cadillacs and Dinosaurs. We'll see where it goes. We still got 11 episodes to go, and like I said, this might be a long one, might be a short one. I'm going to edit it all in. And there might be episodes that aren't even worth talking about. I might just have a 5-minute sketch, or a 5-minute blip, 2-minute blip, or just say episodes 3 and 4 sucked. Nothing happened. So we'll see, Marty. I'm not going to say cheers yet because this isn't the end. So we'll see you in the next edit. All right, little update. Like I said, this is going to be spliced together. 2 more episodes down. I think I've watched 5 total. Episode 4, kind of filler episode, but we've met the moles, I guess you would say. Kind of funny. They're a group of people that live underground, dig up garbage and random shit, and try to sell them at flea markets. There was a cool, funny scene where I can't remember the hot chick. I don't have my notes in front of me. I did write down their names. She is convinced to buy a pink flamingo. You know, those plastic pink flamingos that people used to stick in the yard. That was a funny scene. What is this? People used to use it to attract big game hunting, stuff like that. That was okay. The next episode was actually really cool. I'm really digging this feud or rivalry or whatever between Jack and his group and the poachers. The lead guy's name is Hammer. I remember that now. It was a great episode where Hammer had somebody infiltrate the group with Jack and get the details and stuff like that. And they infiltrated and invaded Jack's, not really a fortress, but where he lived, and worked and all that stuff. And it was great because it showed, again, how much of an asshole and an evil person Hammer is, but it showed how cool of a person that Jack was and how much of a badass was, because apparently Jack's base is on top or inside or somehow has to deal with a volcano, and there's lava flowing underneath it, type of thing. And the poachers blocked the flow of the lava, and Jack had to go inside the volcano, and he's in this gigantic mech suit. It kind of reminded me of the power loader that Ripley gets in at the end of Aliens, excuse me, and he has to, unblock the passage of the lava. And what I mean about this is Jack is really, really cool dealing with the lava, dealing without being able to see due to lava on the visor of the power loader. And it just shows that he doesn't give a fuck, and how this is kind of a violent cartoon, because when he frees the flow of the lava, it shoots out towards a lot of the poachers. They fall off the bridge or whatever that they're using to invade the base. They fall down. The lava falls on top of them. People fucking die in this cartoon. So we had one filler episode. We had one really good episode. I'm really digging it. And like I said, I really like Jack. I'm really gonna enjoy the battles between him and the poachers, especially Hammer. Don't really give a shit about the she, I guess you would say, mayor. I got her name written down. She doesn't seem intimidating that much anymore. My vote's with Hammer, so I'm going to try to do 3 episodes tonight, give you a little bit of an update, and have it finished by the weekend, and maybe uploaded who knows when. But good recommendation so far, Marty. Alright, I've gotten a little bit farther as of this recording. I think I only have 3 episodes left. It's been kind of hit and miss now. I watched an episode. We've just been introduced to a wildling boy. He was there to make friends with the group and then disappear. We've had a couple more filler episodes where there was a toxin or a virus that was affecting people, and they had to find some type of flower to make an antidote. That one was pretty decent. I'm getting confused on Jack and his relationship with the governors, and I think her name Scharnhorst. Again, the man that the woman that looks like a man. I have her name written down in the other room. Scharnhorst, I think, is her name. I'm getting confused right now with the relationship between Jack and her, because it seems like Jack works for her at times, but she's also trying to stop Jack from doing stuff. I don't know. We've been introduced to a couple more poachers, and no one memorable, I guess you'd say. Look-wise, we had one with an eye patch, a scar over his eye. He looked cool. Something interesting is happening in the last couple episodes. It looks like the animation is different. I don't know if they changed animation studios. The thing is bugging me right there. What is it? Anyway, there we go. It looks like they changed animation studios, kind of like the first season of The Simpsons, where it got weirder looking as the episodes went on, because there was one episode, I think, with one of the new poachers. Might have been the episode where they were dealing with the amphibian dinosaur, which looked cool. That looked cool. It looked just like a mixture of Nessie and a T-Rex. I loved the look of that. but a lot of the characters were like kind of waving their arms. They looked like olive oil. You know what I mean? Waving their arms, waiting for Popeye to save them. Um, Hannah's face looks a lot more cartoonish and I guess you would say Japanese, kind of like a Pokemon character. I don't know. And one thing I have noticed, Hannah has gotten to be a main character now, and they're definitely pushing that sexual tension between her and Jack. And she's become very annoying, very obnoxious. She's given a lot more lines, and she's become very, very whiny. And she's really starting to grate on me. So I don't like Hannah. And Jack, in a couple episodes where it's them working together and they're not getting along, he's kind of becoming a bumbling oaf. So I don't know where they're going with the characters. Right now I'm in the middle of an episode where they found someone who was in some type of capsule. It looks like the egg. It looks like an egg, from like Mork and Mindy. He's in a capsule and he was in hibernation for 400 years. And he is a lot smarter and a lot stronger than everybody. But they don't know who he is. I think he said he was I think Jack thinks he's one of the ancient ones. I don't know. I still don't know who the hell these lizard people are, these frog people. They've shown up. I don't know if they were caretakers to the wildling boy. There's a lot of stuff now being thrown at you, and it's hitting the wall, and a lot of it's not sticking. So I don't really know what's going on. I'm on episode 10. There's 13. We'll see where this is going. I hate to say, it started off really good, and now we're really starting to nosedive for multiple reasons. What looks like to be a change in animation, making Hannah an annoying main character. I don't know. So we'll see. We got episode 10, 11, 12, 13. More to go. Oh boy. All right. I have just finished the 13th episode of Cadillacs and Dinosaurs. And first off, I can understand now why it's a little confusing, characters here and there, the relationships with them and the head governor or governess, I guess you would say. I'm watching it on Tubi, and they are out of sequence from their broadcast order, I guess you would say, kind of like X-Men did in the 90s. But last I talked about, there was this guy who was frozen for 400 years. He ended up being a robot for some fucking reason. So I finished the episodes. I hate to say, maybe it's also because I binged watched them. I quickly lost interest. Again, Hannah is the main character. She's still obnoxious. She still has relationship with Jack is still eye rolling. Although there is a cool sequence there. There's a scene where there's an episode where what is it? There's a fire off in the distance, and they want to dynamite some rocks to block out the fire. They have to get nitroglycerin instead, and the trunk of the Cadillac. And I'm assuming this is the last episode because the Cadillac gets fucking destroyed. Can't have Cadillacs and Dinosaurs without a Cadillac. All the nitroglycerin is in the trunk of the Cadillac. Jack is not in it. She is driving. She has a real cool moment where she shoots an arrow into the accelerator, and then she jumps out, and it does its drive off the cliff, just like Thelma and Louise, blows up, saves the day. But she's still kind of obnoxious. What else happens? There's less and less dealing with the poachers, so there's less Hammer that I liked. There is a scene where, the Jungle Boy comes back because we're now, again, an old rival, I guess you would say, of Jack, or a friend, but rival of Jack shows up and he steals some diamond from the lizard frog people, and it's causing him to slowly die. I'm pretty sure they pulled that right out of Temple of Doom. Jack saves the day, returns it, blah, blah, blah. Still don't know who the fuck these freaks are. And again, it's probably because they're on Tubi out of sequence, but I'm not going to lie, Marty. I know you really enjoy this one. I just lost interest. It started off so strong. I still like the Jack character, but once they made Hannah more prominent, I guess he became less cool because they had to focus more on her. I wish we had more Jack versus the poachers, because that was a great theme in the beginning. Poaching is bad, even if it's dinosaurs. But overall, I don't regret watching it. It's probably something I would have watched definitely Saturday mornings when I was younger in the 90s. The animation, until they got to those weird episodes where, again, it was all wacky olive oil stuff, looked really good. The action's still good. A lot of the action sequences are still good. But yeah, just bringing in like these other characters, like I said, the robot from 400 years ago, and the lizard people that I still don't know who the fuck they are, and the wildling boy who looks like a very young John Rambo. I never brought that up. Um, it is what it is. I'm sorry, Marty. I just lost interest, but overall, I don't regret watching it. It would probably be good for kids in the. Maybe I'm just also too fucking old. It would definitely be good for kids around 6 to 10 maybe. But yeah, I would give it a. I did give it a thumbs up on Tubi, so there you go. I do recommend it if you're really into nostalgia, if you're really into dinosaurs. Give it a shot. 13 episodes. You can binge watch it in like 3 days. So that's it. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. Comment below. Have you seen Cadillacs and Dinosaurs? Never heard of it? Are you kind of interested? Don't care? Tell me below. Click the bell. One more thing for Jurassic July. I wanted to do so much more. I wanted to discuss Super Mario Brothers. I wanted to just discuss Land Before Time. Marty, I'm sorry you had a whole list for me. With this humidity, man, I'm lucky. And there's no air conditioning in the room that I'm filming in. It's a box fan and a ceiling fan. It's just been rough, dude. But I got as much as I can for you, Marty. I hope you appreciate it. I hope you enjoy what I have picked. I'm going to end Jurassic July with a recommendation or a request from Patrick from Have Cheatable View, the series finale of Dinosaurs, the television show, which I remember ending on a very dark and sad note. So let's end this. Let's end this depressing, hot, humid month with something also just as depressing. And then after that, I have ass-kicking August, nothing but over-the-top action movies. So we got a lot of stuff planned. I'll do a short like I always do. Thank you to everybody who joined us in the chat for John Hughes Appreciation Night. Frenzy could not join me, but Derek from yesterday's podcast, he helped me through it. I think we had a good conversation. Appreciate that. And that's it. Stay cool, man. Stay cool, everybody. It's fucking hot here. Cheers.